What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to be looking at simple interest, specifically how to use the formula in a variety of different ways to find out what we want. The most important idea for this lesson is understanding what changes how much interest is earned. And there are three things that make this up. The first is the principal, or the starting amount. So the more money that's put in, the more money you should make because of interest. The second thing is the rate that interest is calculated at. So this is a percentage. The interest rate is a percentage, usually per annum or per a unit of time. Finally, the number of payouts or the number of interest periods will determine how much money you make. The more times you get paid out, the more money you'll have. And we call this N. So because it's simple interest, the formula is going to be simple. All we have to do is multiply everything together. So the interest that's made is equal to the principal multiplied by the rate multiplied by the number of periods, and that's all the maths we've got to do. So the questions we're going to see are going to look something like this. Calculate the amount of simple interest we get on a $6,000 loan at 8% for 4 years. The first thing that I always like to do is write down I, P, R, and N. If we define what these are, there's no way that you can make a mistake. So the interest is what we don't know, that's our unknown. The principal is $6,000, the rate is 8%, and the time period, or N, is equal to 4 years. So once we've got that, all we have to do is interest is equal to these three things multiplied together. 6,000 times 8% times 4, and that's equal to $1,920. What's really important here is that you didn't just lose $4,000. That's not what happened. You're earning this money on top of your principal. So the size of money that you've got now is the original $6,000 plus the interest that you made. So your total wealth for this investment is now $7,920. So the other way these questions could be asked is you might have an interest goal, right? You might be like, oh, I need to save $3,000, and we need to work backwards to find out how much do I need to invest, what rate, or for how long. So this is just going about it in a different way, which is a little bit more real life. So for this question, I want to find out how much I need to invest. What is my principal if I want to earn $3,000? If the rate's 6.5% per annum for 3 years, how much money do I have to put in at the very start in order for me to reach this savings goal? So again, I would love you to write the interest is equal to $3,000. That's what we want to know. The principal is what we're trying to find out. Rate is 6.5%, and then our number of years, or N, is equal to 3. I actually give my kids a mark for just writing this down, so I highly recommend doing it because it'll just help you get started on these questions, especially when there's a lot of words and stuff going on. Just getting the information down really helps. All I've got to do is plug these numbers into that formula. So 3,000 is equal to the principal multiplied by the rate, 0.065, multiplied by 3. So because I've got P times all of this stuff, all I've got to do is divide it onto the other side. So I've got to divide both sides by 0.065 multiplied by 3. All you've got to do is 3,000 divided by 0.065 times 3 is equal to P. That's how we get that principal by itself. All you've got to do is throw this into your calculator, and the answer is $15,384, and that's all you've got to do. What is important to recognize here is to make $3,000 for doing nothing, you will have to invest quite a bit of money up front, but this makes sense. The more principal you put in, the higher your interest returns will be. So I've got two big pro tips for this lesson. The first one is always write down I equals, P equals, R equals, and N equals. It'll just help scaffold your answer really easily, and there's no way that you can make a mistake. The other thing to think about is that when we rearrange this formula, so if we're not trying to find I, if we're trying to find P, R, and N, all we've got to do to the other two things is divide them off. So in this example, if I was looking for N, so I is equal to P times R times N, to get N by itself, I would just have to divide off P times R. And then if I wanted to find the rate by itself, all I'd have to do is divide off P times N. So I'd be left with R is equal to I over PN. What's really important is that it's always going to be the interest divided by the other two that are on that other side. If you're on top of this, it makes the rearranging for these questions incredibly easy, and it's not going to be very difficult to get full marks for these questions. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you later.